Welcome to another Tag Team Talent Podcast, the podcast that focuses on talent from around the world. And here's the guy that's produced live and television entertainment for the last 40 years, and he's going to be the host of the show, for goodness sakes. Here he is, Scott Edwards.
Welcome back to the podcast, Tag Team Talent Podcast. We're so happy you're here. I have a special treat for you. My co-host this week is none other than Lynn Stobener.
Hey,
you may recognize the name or the face. She is a regular on my audio podcast and also on this podcast. You've also appeared a couple times. I don't know if you know that. But Lynn was just instrumental in the start of my career in comedy. She was my first official employee. We've been together lifelong. Well, we're family, basically. And it's so happy to have you here.
Oh, nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I thought we were going swimming, but that's okay. I'm good. That's fine.
We're going to watch a few videos first.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, as the premise of the show, we're going to show the audience 3 videos. We get to watch them with them, and then we'll see what you think.
Cool. Is this Wicked? Is that the new
No.
movie?
This is all videos recorded recently by stand-up comics. And it also includes a lot of artists from around the world. But these happen to be all stand-up comedy. So if you're ready.
I'm ready. All
right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn and I are now going to watch a video and share it with you. We hope you enjoy it. If you do, be sure to comment or get a part of the poll and let us know what you think. But let's jump into it. Our first actor is out of Tennessee. He's a very talented stand-up comic. Used to be part of the comedy team, Mack and Jamie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And you know them from back in the day. Is this
Mack or is this Jamie?
This is Mack. And Mack is still doing some acting, and he's doing some cartooning, which is really exciting. But right now, he sent us a video from a show he did just last year for Dry Bar Comedy, and we're going to share just a snippet of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the very funny Mack Dryden.
And I knew how fancy this place was when I walked into my room and saw that $7 bottle of water they left in there for my convenience. And I'm thinking it must be a real hassle for them, keeping up with the accounting and everything. So for their convenience, I drank mine and filled it back up in the sink. Yeah, $7 for a beverage. If I don't get a buzz, I'm not paying, sorry. In the bathroom, they've got one of those magnifying mirrors, which is fine for you ladies with your smooth faces. But for us guys, that is entirely too much information. We're just whiskers and pores, you know. I looked into that thing first thing this morning. I looked like a colander with nose hair. But here's a tip, fellas. When you get out of the shower, if you'll just walk over to that thing, it will boost your self-esteem, I'm telling you. And I'm bored, so I'm actually reading labels on the gas pump. Gasoline may be harmful or fatal if swallowed. If you pull up to a gas pump because you're thirsty, you shouldn't be operating a motor vehicle. You know, I'm not so sure that sign is really benefiting society because it's interfering with the laws of natural selection. Because if you're dumb enough to suck gasoline out of a nozzle, you're doing humanity a favor by weeding out the underachievers. Maybe opening up some of those scholarship opportunities for more deserving candidates. Recently, I had to have a crown put in. So they have to deaden you completely from the 3rd rib to your hairline. My tongue felt like a 2-pound salami in a wool sock. Pull me right over, you know. And I'm thinking, you know, instead of the floss and the toothbrush, they should have given me a card that said, I've just come from the dentist and my mouth is really numb. He said, have you been drinking? I said, no. I'm stone cold sober. Look, there's our crown. Look. He said, would you step out of the vehicle, please, sir? He said, what's that? I said, whoa. I'm trying to wipe it off of him, and that's when he pulled out the nightstick. So, boom! I didn't feel a darn thing. After I paid for the crown and posted bond, that was by far the most expensive trip to the dentist I have ever had.
Well, that was Mack Dryden live on stage. This was recorded just last year. Very funny bit about going to the dentist and then getting pulled over.
Yes, definitely. God, I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, well, it's been a few years.
And I didn't even know he had a last name.
That's true. It was part of Mack and Jamie.
Yes,
I
thought Ann Jamie was his last name.
Yeah, exactly. They had their own TV show called Comedy Break. If you get a chance, check it out. It's very good, from the 90s. But Mack Dryden is back doing some comedy. This was just a sample from a show he sent us recently.
Very funny.
And you could see how funny and expressive he is.
Yes.
And that helps really bring out the comedy. Well, I hope you're having fun.
Yes, I am. That was good.
We have something a little more
Excellent.
fast-hitting. This is a stand-up comic out of the Bay Area. He is still performing. In fact, you've seen him before on this show, but on my audio podcast, there's an interview and some more of his material. His name's Johnny Steele, and he's a very talented headliner. Been around for a while. I know you'll enjoy this. Lynn, if you're ready.
I'm ready. Bring it on. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Steele.
I was raised in a small town where you couldn't buy a condom if you were a kid because everyone knew you, and I was afraid to go in. I'm going to the prom, and can I have a pack of condoms? All right. Say, aren't you Grace and Tony's son, Johnny? Run down the street and hide for a week, right?
You can't blame Mexicans. Can you blame Mexicans? I mean, you've been down there? You can't blame. They just want to go north. Mexicans just want to go north. Where people are kind and literate and civilized and there's safety and healthcare, and they have to go through here to get to Canada. You can't blame them. They're on their way up. I grew up in a blue-collar town, We didn't have a lot of wine words. Good, sucks, more. Right there. Those were our wine words. I hate to say it, but we judged the wine by how smooth it was coming back up. You know what I'm saying? Mad Dog is Bad Dog. Bad Dog. Mad Dog. I was a class clown in school, which is really, people look down on the class clown when I was in school, right? Are you the people that look down on the class? It's a tough and dedicated job to be a class clown, man. You basically throw your educational future into the toilet for the amusement of your pinhead classmates that didn't pay a cover charge. I would blow tests on purpose because the stuff I could write in would be funnier than the actual answer, man. Total dedication. What will you find in the atom with protons and neutrons? Croutons and futons. Now Siegfried and Roy are gone. If they come back at all, it's going to be Siegfried and Scabby. You know that, right?
Oh.
And people moan. Let me tell you why that's an inaccurate response. I'll tell you why, right? Let me tell you why. A school bus full of kids going across the train tracks, the bus stalls, the train is hit. Terrible. You know what that is? A tragedy. Okay, now, some guy is poking a tiger in the face with a stick, and the tiger attacks him? That's called a consequence. Atkins diet. But my friends are like, well, basically how it works is you don't eat any fruit or fiber or vegetables or minerals or antioxidants or... Well, what do? Mostly you eat fried meat. That's basically all you... Well, that doesn't sound healthy. Well, I'm losing weight, ain't I? You'd lose weight if you only ate asbestos shingles, for heaven's sake. I don't think that's a good idea. I've got cancer. Look at the pound slip away. How about you? I'm on the tapeworm diet. One little tapeworm.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Johnny Steele, a little compilation reel.
Oh.
So what did you think of Johnny Steele?
Very, very funny.
Isn't he funny? He has been doing stand-up comedy out of the Bay Area, I think, for like 30 years. And what he sent me was a compilation of shows he'd done in the last couple of years. Mm. So recent stuff, but I've actually known him a long time. He has appeared at Laughs Unlimited back in the day when we had it. But funny comedy.
Yes, very good. You found some good ones.
Yes, well, they're sent to me, but thank you. And I should explain, and I kind of passed over it, Lynn Stobener, not only a terrific human being, but she is also a professional stand-up comic. You used to MC.
I'm retired, but yes, yeah,
She used to MC a lot of the shows at the clubs that she helped me run, but you went pro and actually did some comedy around Northern California.
Yeah, I was drafted into the... all-star comedy round, yeah.
The all-star comedy round?
Mm-hmm.
And did you...
I mean, I don't want to say I'm a legend.
Okay. Should I?
Yes, thank you.
Lynn Stobener, stand-up comedy legend, here is our co-host today. But you can relate to the challenges of being a comic.
Yes, very, very much so.
It can be very challenging. But I have something extra special for you. It's time for the classic rewind. And since this is your first time as a co-host, we've taken some of the stuff that you and I worked on back in the 80s and early videos that we recorded at our clubs. And we're sharing it with the audience. This one stars Bob Saget.
Oh, hello, Bob.
Yes. Now, Bob Saget, if you don't know the name, went on to be the star of Full House and Fuller House. He and Dave Coulier were the guys that really helped me get started in comedy, with her as an employee and them as comedy friends. Well, of course, we succeeded.
Did my ears just...
Yeah. Anyway, we have a great bit. Now, what a lot of people don't know is Bob Saget was not only a tremendous stand-up comic and actor, but in the early days, he was a comic musician.
He was, and he was so clean. It was always such a family show.
He was not clean, but it was smart comedy and it was funny. And
I must say, one of my an experience I always loved was when he came back to the club after, with Full House and all the people waiting to see Danny Tanner.
He played the father, Danny Tanner, on Full House, and parents were always trying to bring their kids in to see him, and we'd have to go, no, because Bob had a little bit of an edge to him.
Yes.
But this video is very special because not only it shows his comedic talents and his musical talents, but it's funny and actually fairly clean. Let's see. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Classic Rewind.
Hi, I'm a geek. Come on, Rob, it's time for your therapy. Everybody. Oh, you don't have guitars. Here's a song. Here's a pretty one. Here's a pick. And there's my nose. Look out! The password is immaturity. Here's a nice one. It's Geek Footloose. Thank you. Here's one. All the leaves are brown. It's a poop joke. I can't do it. Here's one. Here's a real pretty one. Alas, my love, you do me wrong. Cast me out unkindly. When I had loved you so long, delighting your love with me. Green sleeves is my... I'm sorry. Anyway, I apologize. I really am sorry. Here's a song, which is good with that guitar on. Have you ever actually spent more money at the end of the month than you have? Don't say tonight, I'd be really hurt. This is a song, it's a true story. I came home, I was on the road, I opened up my refrigerator, I had 5 yogurts and bread and pickles. And everything, the date was expiring that day. And I said, I have an hour to eat everything in this refrigerator. And I did it. I ate everything and I got real sick, but I beat the deadline, So I wrote this song and I choreographed it. That was it, thank you. And here it is, a lot of choreography, and I hope you like it, and I hope it never happened to you, but I'm sure it has because it happened to me, and here it is. Okay, I don't have a song. Fake out. No, here it is. Help me, you guys. Well, my checkbook is useless cause I've just paid my bills. All that's left in the fridge are some old kosher dills. Got no cash and no credit to put food on my plate. Found some change in some pants I bought in 1968. I got $1.48. $1.48. I can buy some tuna. Well, my car's out of gas, so I walk to the store. Looking down at the pavement, feeling hungry and poor. When I see something shiny at the foot of a tree, move the dog to a side, there was a quarter for me. $1.73, ew, $1.73. I can buy some lunch meat, some pimento loaf. This policeman comes over, thinks I look kinda strange. So I'm laying in the gutter, just hunting for change. He says, get up, you scum, cause vagrancy is a crime. I said, sir, I'm not a vagrant. Look, I found $1.89. $1.89. Good God, $1.89. I'm gonna buy some fish sticks. Mrs. Paul's light battered. Everybody sing. $1.89. Head pivot. $1.89. to the right. $1.89. Work it out. $1.89. Good God, help me. I'll get some Thunderbird wine. Rob and I are gonna dine on some fish sticks. Everybody, $1.80. On the count of 3, everyone look at Rob. 3.
Wow, that was great. What do you think?
Oh, I love
He's
it.
a classic. I mean, Bob Saget live on stage. This was during our
That
10th
was
anniversary.
very clean.
For him, that was incredibly
Yes.
clean. Green sleeves. Anyway, our 10th anniversary party, he and Dave Coulier came back after Full House, and that's what this is from. And as I said, a lot of people didn't know that Bob did a lot of music.
He has a great voice. I mean, they actually did some singing on the Full House show that they actually sounded very good.
And he can play guitar.
Yes, and he can play guitar.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. We did, right?
Yes, we did.
And I think you did as well. We want to thank you for watching the Tag Team Talent Podcast. We'll be back next week with 3 great videos. Lynn, it's been so nice to have you as
Thank
a
you.
co-host.
This was great, especially seeing the old Bob Saget.
It's incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us. If you get a chance, tell your friends. We'll be back next week. Thanks, Lynn. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Tag Team Talent Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss the next big talent reveal. And don't forget to write in the comments below which performer you thought was best in this episode. We love hearing from you. See you soon.